Robin Roberts is known to millions as a calm, reassuring presence who greets each morning with warmth and grace. What many people never saw was how much strength it took for her to stand under those studio lights day after day. Her life has been shaped by devotion to family, quiet grief, serious illness, and love that grew strongest during hardship. This story is not about fame or television success alone. It is about a woman who carried loss without bitterness, fear without surrender, and hope without pretending life was easy. Through every chapter, Robin chose honesty, resilience, and compassion, turning her deepest pain into purpose that reached far beyond the screen. Roots of strength and family pride. Robin Roberts was born into a family shaped by service, discipline, and deep moral values. Her father was a respected military pilot whose courage and integrity left a lasting imprint on her character. Her mother, an educator and community leader, taught her the power of kindness, learning, and responsibility. Growing up in a small southern town, Robin learned early that opportunity was not always evenly given. As a young black girl, she faced limits that were quietly reinforced by society. Instead of accepting them, she worked harder. She excelled in school and sports, discovering confidence on basketball courts and tennis courts where effort mattered more than background. Her home life emphasized faith, perseverance, and giving back, values that would guide her through later storms. These early years built the emotional foundation that carried her through professional rejection, personal loss, and serious illness. Long before television fame, Robin was already learning how to stand tall when the world felt small. Finding her voice. Through sports became Robin's first public platform and her training ground for resilience. Athletics taught her teamwork, discipline, and how to perform under pressure. Those lessons carried naturally into broadcasting when she pursued communications at university. Entering sports media was not easy. The industry was dominated by men, and opportunities for women of color were rare. Robin faced skepticism and long hours, often working harder just to be seen as equal. Her years at a major sports network shaped her professional voice and confidence. Early mornings, constant travel, and relentless expectations tested her endurance. Yet she grew stronger with each broadcast, learning how to stay composed during live television and how to speak with authority without losing warmth. Sports reporting gave her credibility and toughness, preparing her for much bigger stages ahead. This chapter of her life was not glamorous, but it was essential. It forged the steady presence audiences would later trust every morning. Stepping into morning television. When Robin joined a national morning show as co-anchor, it marked a turning point built on years of quiet preparation. The role demanded far more than reading headlines. She had to balance breaking news, human stories, tragedy, and celebration, all while remaining authentic and empathetic. Audiences quickly connected with her sincerity. She did not perform warmth, she lived it. Each broadcast required emotional intelligence and stamina, especially during national crises. Robin became a trusted companion in people's homes, someone viewers felt they knew personally. Her influence grew beyond journalism into cultural relevance. She covered everything from political events to disaster zones, always grounded and respectful. While awards and recognition followed, the job also came with intense pressure and little rest. Behind the scenes, Robin carried personal burdens that never reached the camera. Her success was visible, but the emotional cost of staying strong every morning remained hidden from view. The loss that never healed. One of the deepest wounds in Robin's life came with the sudden death of her father. She was far from home, doing her job, when he passed away. The inability to be there in his final moments left her with lasting guilt and sorrow. Soon after, she faced another devastating loss when her mother became gravely ill. This time, Robin made it home, holding her mother's hand as she took her last breath. While that moment brought some closure, it also deepened her grief. Losing both parents within a short period reshaped her emotional world. They had been her anchors, her greatest supporters. Their absence created a quiet loneliness that success could not fill. Robin continued working, smiling, and delivering the news, but inside she was grieving. This period taught her that strength does not mean the absence of pain. It means carrying it forward with grace, even when it feels unbearably heavy. Grief inside the workplace. As Robin processed family loss, she also faced heartbreak within her professional family. The death of a close colleague and friend left an emptiness in her daily routine. Shared jokes, private conversations, and mutual support vanished overnight. Work, once a refuge, became a reminder of absence. Morning television is fast-paced and demanding, leaving little space to grieve openly. Robin learned to compartmentalize, performing professionalism while silently mourning. This experience deepened her empathy for others facing unseen pain. It also reinforced how fragile life can be, even in familiar environments. Losing someone who understood the pressures of early mornings and public expectations intensified her sense of isolation. Yet she showed up, honoring her friend by continuing the work they once shared. This chapter reflects how grief often arrives quietly and stays long after public acknowledgement fades. Robin's perseverance during this time revealed her deep emotional resilience. A diagnosis that changed everything. Robin's life took a frightening turn when she discovered a small physical change during a self-exam. What followed was a diagnosis that demanded immediate and aggressive treatment. Facing a serious illness forced her to confront mortality in a way she never had before. Surgery, chemotherapy, and radiation became part of her daily reality. The treatments drained her strength, altered her appearance, and tested her spirit. Still, she continued to work, choosing visibility over silence. By sharing her journey, she offered comfort to countless others facing similar battles. Some days, simply standing upright required determination. Yet she showed up, not as a symbol of perfection, but as proof that vulnerability and courage can coexist. This chapter of her life stripped away illusion and control, replacing them with faith and endurance. Illness did not define her, but it reshaped her understanding of what truly mattered. A love kept quiet and then shared. Throughout her public battles, Robin had a steady source of private support in her partner. Their relationship began quietly and grew through shared challenges and mutual care. For years, Robin protected this part of her life, choosing privacy over public discussion. When she eventually shared her love story, it was met with warmth and respect. Their bond had already been tested by illness, long work hours, and emotional strain. Together, they navigated recovery, uncertainty, and hope. Choosing to live openly was an act of courage and self-acceptance. Their commitment culminated in a joyful wedding surrounded by loved ones, marking a celebration of endurance and love. This chapter highlights how true partnership thrives, not in perfect moments, but in shared survival. Love became both refuge and strength, grounding Robin through every transition. Building a broader legacy, Robin Roberts' impact extends far beyond her role on morning television. Her career has broken barriers in journalism and sports media, opening doors for others who once felt unseen. Awards and honors recognized her excellence, but her greatest legacy lies in lives touched through honesty and advocacy. She expanded her influence through production work that amplifies meaningful stories and underrepresented voices. Financial success allowed her to give back generously, supporting education, health research, and future journalists. She invested in institutions that shaped her, ensuring others could dream bigger. Despite accolades, Robin remained grounded, guided by gratitude rather than ego. Her life demonstrates that legacy is not built through titles alone, but through consistent compassion and courage. A life that inspires hope. Today, Robin continues her work with renewed clarity and balance. She embraces each day with appreciation, shaped by everything she has survived. Her presence remains reassuring, not because life spared her pain, but because she faced it honestly. Robin's journey reminds us that strength is not loud or flawless. It is steady, human, and rooted in love. Through loss, illness, and joy, she chose hope repeatedly. Her story encourages others to listen to their bodies, cherish relationships, and believe that even the hardest chapters can lead to purpose. Robin Roberts stands as a living example that resilience, when paired with kindness, has the power to change lives.